Stephanie, am I saying this right, Schriock?
Stephanie Schriock, you got it.
Stephanie Schriock, the president of Emily's List, Emily'sList.org, is on the line with us. And Stephanie, one of the reasons I'm so pleased to have you on is I have gotten a number of, we've actually had callers ask this question, and I haven't always had the best answer. In fact, I don't think I've ever had the best answer. But and people on our message board and in our chat room and whatnot saying, I would like to support progressive organizations. Where do I go? So tell me about Emily's List. This is a progressive organization that is supporting female candidates, women candidates, correct?
That's exactly right. I mean, tell them to go to Emily'sList.org. That's the first thing
you
need to do to answer that question. Emily's List is an organization that came into being 27 years ago to elect pro-choice Democratic women to office. And before Emily's List started, no Democratic woman had won a seat in the United States Senate in her own right. I mean, it was only 27 years ago.
Wow.
And so since then, we have been training, recruiting strong pro-choice Democratic women candidates to run for the House, for the Senate, for governorships around the country. In the last 10 years, we've done more and more work at the legislative level. We've now supported thousands of women at that level, and we have helped elect 16 women to the United States Senate and 87 to the House of Representatives, and we expect this November to really increase those numbers.
Now, Stephanie, has your portfolio or mandate expanded beyond just reproductive issue, women who are supportive of reproductive issues or choice on abortion and things like that, to just women in general? Because, I mean, there's a huge body of evidence out there that nations, organizations, whatever, that are run by women tend to be, more peaceful, more well-organized, less likely to have wars. I mean, I think there's something to be said for my old friend Ned Hallowell, professor of psychiatry at the Harvard Medical School's comment that testosterone is the most dangerous drug on earth.
Well, it's best to have all of this balanced out, right? And when you've said it exactly right. It really does matter to have more and more women at all levels of government and in society, in business and corporations and law firms, you name it. If you have more women sitting at the decision-making tables, you have more progressive policies moving forward. So we have always supported pro-choice Democratic women. Really because we felt like we needed to make big moves in the Democratic Party. And of course, for us, I mean, choice is just a basic freedom for women. I mean, that's just at our core what this needs to be about. And it's reproductive rights, but it's just having opportunities to make decisions in our lives to move forward. But we've always focused on the Democratic Party because when we started, we needed to make inroads into the party structure. Now the Democratic Party is much more open to having women run, obviously. You saw at the convention an incredible show of our Emily's List women standing up. I mean, from Barbara Mikulski to Elizabeth Warren and Tammy Baldwin, and just on and on. We are so proud of all of them, really leaders of the Democratic Party. But if you looked 30 years ago, that convention would have looked a lot different.
Yeah.
We've made those changes. We've worked hard in the party. I wish that the Republican Party had a similar group of pro-choice women making the same changes in the Republican Party, because right now they are moving very fast backwards, trying to roll the clock back, and I think they would do well to reopen their party to pro-choice Republican women.
Where do Olympia Snowe and Susan Collins stand, the two women who are senators from Maine?
Well, I think Olympia Snowe says it best. I mean, she threw her hands up in the air and said, "Enough with this place." It's almost
she's out this year.
To get
You're
anything
right.
done. And I'm looking forward to seeing the book that she's coming out with next year to really get a sense of how she's feeling about this. I think it's very, very hard. Emily's List over the summer put together some research on, to that earlier point, how women really make a difference in government and what does it mean to have women. The Impact Project is what we call it. And what we found is Democratic women are more progressive than our Democratic male counterparts across the board on all issues for the last 2 decades. And what we also found was that Republican women were more progressive than their Republican male counterparts on the same trajectory until the last 4 or 5 years and those lines on the Republican Party between men and women have come together.
Interesting.
And it's fascinating and concerning to me.
Yeah, it is. When you look at countries like Norway, where about half, a little less than half of their legislature is women, and I believe that's by law, isn't it? Isn't there a 40% threshold by law in Norway?
I believe that's correct.
And Iceland, which has historically been a matrilineal society, if you're named after your mother, if you're a woman, you're Susan's daughter,
right.
Rather than John's son, that kind of thing. Many of these countries are way ahead of us. I mean, my recollection is we're averaging around 16 or 17% elected representation at the federal level of women.
That's correct. We're at 17% right now. That puts the United States at 77th in the world.
Right, and Rwanda is number one. Right.
Yes, Rwanda is number one. And you look at, even countries like Iraq and Afghanistan, there's a minimum set there that they have to have a minimum of 25% women in their parliaments. This is Iraq and Afghanistan.
Right.
And the reason they have that law is because the United States government demanded it.
Well, not unlike, Truman helping the Germans put themselves back together after World War II and said, you guys ought to have a national health care system.
Right. Very good point. Very good point.
Yeah, what he couldn't get done in America, he got done over there. And any company over 1,000 employees has to have half their board of directors made up of representatives of organized labor. But working to get more women into elective office, this is frankly, in my opinion, this transcends even the choice issue. This is a war and peace issue. This is a human rights issue. This
agree with you more.
This is a future of the earth issue.
That's right, and an economic issue. You look at some of our candidates that we're supporting this year, Elizabeth Warren being at the top of that list, a leader in consumer protection and economic reforms to move this country forward. Her voice in the United States Senate will absolutely change the direction of this country.
And already has, I would submit.
I agree.
Stephanie, EmilysList.org.